Now, what else is necessary for Ms. Fondren to do? March 14th is a date of registration of her vehicle. It's still at least 30 days prior to the election. She has the right to transfer a vehicle from Highway 61 in the city limits, okay, to Cherry Street, still in the city limits. And we submit that she has fully complied. And you know, and it's sad that, and I look at, there's a presumption when you submit your statement of, a qualified statement of intent, that you live where you are and you are who you say you are. Generally speaking, in the absence of convictions, which you ought to look for, certainly, and in the absence, of a complaint that brings forth some challenge, the committee generally routinely just conclude that if the person got property, they live there where they say, until someone contested it. Here the committee is becoming an activist committee, and they have become the accusers against Ms. Fondren, which is improper. And when you do that, you ought to recuse yourself and allow somebody else to make the decision. How can you be the judge, jury, and prosecutors? So I submit to you that she is entitled to cross-examine, even before you, her accuser, okay? You haven't extended her that opportunity. She lived in the city. She has shown proof beyond doubt, which ain't required before this committee. All she has to do, the only requirement here is she shows, if a petition is filed, that she established by substantial evidence that she should seek the position, she's qualified to seek the position of mayor. There's more than substantial evidence that has been shown. She has a driver's license that you didn't ask for. She has utilities on it all. She owns these properties in the city that you haven't asked about. And I actually, you need additional record. She owns all of them. She got a vehicle at one of them. That's more than sufficient to establish substantial evidence, and we will encourage you and urge you to do the right thing. That's all.
Mr. Shorter,
Yes, sir.
can you vote based on my evidence that I have that I have complied, and put me in the race, put me on the ballot? So, your committee.
It's not my committee.
I'm sorry, not your committee, but it's as I know it because it's new.
But the way you look at it, you have a qualifying deadline. We did not look at your information till after that deadline. Because of no homestead exemption, the question is, where was your home? Then with no vehicle registration, actually you had vehicle registration, 4 in the county. That tells us what? That you're living in the county. Now you give us a vehicle registration of today's date. Has the qualifying deadline.
Let me ask you first. Would you like to see her driver's license? No. You don't think the driver's license? Are you saying the driver's license is not relevant?
We're not saying that the driver's license isn't relative. We accept your residency on 61 Highway 61 South, because when we checked, that's where you voted from. So we accept that. We see that you have lived there, but in the same token, you have 4 cars that's registered in the county. You have 4 cars that you got taxed for,
explain something?
and it's registered in the county.
Okay, I will explain something.
We acknowledge that you have that, but at the same time, you have 4 cars that are in the county at 140 Fondren Drive. Those 4 cars are registered there.
Those cars, to be registered in the city, you have to wait until 1 year before you can even go and register them.
First of all, you can have vehicles registered somewhere else. Okay? That's just a gift. Yes, you can. That doesn't disqualify. The question on the residence, and I've litigated a lot, is what address you intend to be your bona fide domicile. Okay? And that's subjective. And she has a right to decide on her own, because she has information from various addresses. She lived on Highway 61 in Cherry Street. She has decided that the Cherry Street address is her bona fide domicile for voting purposes and for all other purposes. And I submit to you, that's all that's required. And we would urge you to do the right thing and qualify her so we can move on.
30 days. 30 days.
Committee, do y'all want to respond or what? Do I get a motion or which one?
I so move that we take 3 more days to incur with the state to find out some more information, because the deadline. I so move that we do 3 more days. I second.
Mr. Chairman, you know that's not a proper motion. You can't delay these proceedings. You know this. You know.
It's a burden of proof. We have to be able to determine if it's the state. We're not trying to hold anybody back from being.
Tonight we'll take
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. I'm saying if you need 3 more days and I can have a few more minutes to get mine together, I think I should get 3 more days. I need 3 more days, Madam Chair.
That's the case.
Chairman, do not do it when we get back. Just take it under advisement for no more than 3 days. For final research.
Can I get 3 days research here?
All in favor? All opposed, abstained. Motion passed.
Okay, do I get 3 days, Chair? Do I get 3 days to get the rest of my information together?
Mr. Smith, your judgment already been made.
Sir?
Your case already been
It
paid.
hasn't had its finish. You understand state law?
What was the ruling? Oh, no.
3 more days.
What are they gonna do in 3 days?
Meeting over.
Chair,
them word yesterday afternoon, 5:15, that they were modifying.
Okay, for those who leaving, please leave. Mr. Ferguson.